So for the river bottom, we're just spreading silicone.
That's gonna ruin the spatula.
Yep, it is. That's alright, though, it's worth it. To make the screen so that it's solid, and the water will at least mostly run along the top and not run down through it. Trying to do a fairly thick layer. The layer I got for the first part of the stream wasn't thick enough, I don't think. I mean, it's thick enough to keep the water up, but it's not holding the rocks on great. So, just using a combination of river rock.
Can we build tents outside?
Can you ask me when I'm done here?
Sure.
Please, that would be fabulous. And then if you'll keep that on, I'll put some moss on the side to show how I'm doing that.
Can I help putting the rocks on?
No, babe, the glue is really crazy. I shouldn't even have my head in here this long. Noxious.
Oh. It'll make you nauseous?
It's just not good to sit and sniff it like I'm doing. I've got big and little rocks, so I've been able to kind of pat them down in there pretty good. And then, let me just get my gloves on. I can keep filming. For the moss, I'm just spreading the silicone on with my gloved hands. Can you see that far up? I guess I could have done a section down there. And trying to bring the moss down over the rocks. So these rocks have been dry for a while and they're pretty much in place. It's helpful if the gloves fit tight, which these don't. But anyway, this has a lot of like little crevices and stuff, so. Oops. And I'm using this green moss, which is really green and brown. And pressing it into the glue as best I can. Hanging over onto the rocks a little bit so that when the river is going, it'll be, the moss will be wet. I think it's pretty wet. Really pretty wet. This part's really kind of tedious because you gotta do just a little section at a time. I kind of like the brown because it looks more like just dirt. It gives more texture to it. But I also really super want for all of the foam to be covered. At least enough that you can't tell it's foam. So there's how that's working, basically. That was a good section, right? So I am just mega excited. I've taken a break because the vinegar smell in that silicone is just like wiping me out. But there's my river so far, and I've got the moss about halfway done on the edge of the river. There Here's where the river starts at the base of the waterfall. Right here. And then the upper pond. All the planters. I'm really stoked. We're getting close. As soon as I put what moss I'm going to put on the rest of the insulation junk, then we'll put it up above because I won't be able to add anything else heavy until it's up on the stand. This is Spanish moss hanging off the front of that rock, and I'll try to get, just a minute, picture of that from the side so you can see. We'll have a lot of that hanging in there. There we go. So that's kind of that view of that. I can't wait to take pictures of the frogs in here for you guys, and the water features and everything coming. It's gonna be awesome. So I've started doing the textures for the side of the mountain, and you can see I have down one side of where the waterfall path is going to be mostly done with cocoa fiber and green moss and some Spanish moss. This is where the mountain spills off into the river. And then this is the top of the basket. You can kind of see how that's coming along. These are the materials. That's the river rock, cocoa fiber, pretty neat stuff. Green moss. And the Spanish moss is it's kind of in long strands. It's going to go in the cups where the orchids are. So I'm going to try to get a front view of that through the glass. Let's see. There we go. So you can see I've got some foam to cover up here in the very front still. And then that's all on the other side of the river, or the waterfall rather.